Hello everyone. Today's topic is we are studying this third module, that is properties of the impulse response of the LTI system. The first property we are studying is commutative property. As we all know, commutative property is it is x of n convolution h of n or h of n convolution x of n, both are equal. Similarly, x of t convolution h of t equal to h of t convolution x of t. This is our commutative property. If you want to prove this, what we are doing here is first considering x of n as an input and h of n, that is the impulse response, and y of n is an output. Y of n means x of n convolution h of n. This we already know. So I am expanding with an with an equation. In the place of n minus k, I am substituting m. So here the limits changes from m minus infinity to infinity. This is x of n minus m and h of m. So if we can simplify this like this, so first we can write h of n, then x of n. So both are equal. Similarly, in t, I am taking this x of t convolution h of t. I am just integrating this. So I am putting t minus tau as m and d tau as minus dm. So this will be plus infinity to minus infinity. So if we take minus, so the limits changes minus infinity to plus infinity. That times h will come first, then x, h of t convolution x of t. So both are equal. So we can say that the convolution operation is commutative. Second one is the distributive property. Here x of n convolution with h1 of n plus h2 of n means I am splitting this x of n convolution h1 of n plus x of n convolution h2 of n. So similarly in the continuous time, to prove this I am considering this diagram. Here h1 of n, so x of n multiplying, see multiplying means convolution here. Convolution h1 of n, that is y1 of n, then x of n convolution h2 of n, that is y2 of n. So if we add y1 of n and y2 of n, you will get y of n. So see here y of n as y1 of n plus y2 of n. y1 of n andre x of n convolution h1 of n, y2 of n andre x of n convolution h2 of n. So ನೀವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಕಾಮನ್ ತೆಗಿಬಹುದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಕಾಮನ್ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದು h1 of n minus k plus h2 of n minus k. This you can write it as x of k na x of n, this whole thing na h1 of n plus h2 of n ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬಹುದು. So diagram reduce ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. h1 of n plus h2 of n ಅಂದ್ರೆ we are giving input x of n, output as y of n. So we can say that the property is, convolution is distributive property. Similarly, in continuous time we can write that is x of t convolution h1 of t plus h2 of t is equal to x of t into h1 of t plus x of t into h2 of t. Okay, the next property is associative property. Here x of n convolution h1 of n convolution h2 of n. So we can put bracket in either ways. So this is the associative property. To prove that, so I am taking here continuous time signal, that is x, this signal. First I am taking this h1 of t. X of t convolution h1 of t is z of t. Z of t convolution h2 of t is y of t. So let me write the equation in this direction. First y of t as z of t convolution h2 of t. So if you expand this using your equation, this is equation number 1 I am taking. Z of t na heng baritira ನೀವು x of t, let's take z of tau. So x of tau, h1 of tau. So tau minus neta, I am taking as tau minus neta. So we are substituting this equation 2 in equation 1. ಇಲ್ಲಿ z of tau place ಅಲ್ಲಿ this whole equation na substitute ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That time you will get this double integration. So if you simplify, keep on simplifying the integration. So this will be, this you will get it as x of t convolution h1 of t convolution h2 of t. You can write the waveforms, diagrams like this. So similarly we can write it in the discrete time. This is the associative property. Next one is a memoryless system. Here we can say the system is memoryless if its output at any point depends only on the value of the input. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗಿನ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ y ಆಫ್ t ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ x ಆಫ್ t, ನಾಟ್ x ಆಫ್ t ಮೈನಸ್ 1. t ಮೈನಸ್ 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಎ ಮೆಮರಿ. ಸೊ t ಮೈನಸ್ 1 ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಎ ಮೆಮರಿ, ದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೆಮರಿಲೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ h ಆಫ್ t ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ 0 ಫಾರ್ t is not equal to 0, and discrete time h of n should be 0 for n is not equal to 0. This is a memoryless system. So causal, next system is causal. We can say that the system is causal if it only depends on the present and past values of the input. Future values ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ x of t plus 1 ಬರಬಾರ್ದು. ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಾಸಲ್. ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕಾಸಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ h of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0 and h of t is equal to 0 for t less than 0. Next one is stable system. ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಬೌಂಡೆಡ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ಎ ಬೌಂಡೆಡ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಸಮೇಷನ್ k is minus infinity to infinity h of k. This value should be summable and it should be between less than infinity. So absolutely summable ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ h of k values absolutely summable ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು and that values should be less than infinity. That time we can say that the system is stable. So if we go it and the continuous time, integral minus infinity to infinity, this is h of tau d tau should be less than, ಇಲ್ಲಿ sum ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ integral ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, that should be less than infinity. So this is also we can say that the continuous time LTI system is stable and it is impulse response is absolutely summable. Next one is the unit step response of an LTI system. Here we are taking the step response of the discrete time, that is x of n, that is k is equal to minus infinity to n h of k. This is the equation you are using in some problems. And step response for continuous time is integral minus infinity to t h of tau into d tau. Okay. Now let us see the problems based on this. Here we have one problem, that is interconnection of LTI systems. The overall impulse response is, this whole thing is h of n. H of n is, we need to write h of n in terms of h1 of n, h2 of n, h3, h4 and h5 of n. So we can write it as, if two systems are connected in series, we can take it as convolution. So if it is a convolution, I am writing this h2 of n as it is. I am making a big block here. This whole thing can be h3 of n convolution h4 of n. Okay. Now I am writing all other blocks as it is, that is plus and minus, and again this is plus. This is your y of n. Here you have h1 of n. Here you have h5 of n. Now these two blocks are in parallel, so you need to take plus and minus. This system is plus and this system is minus. Again we need to write one more block. So what we can write, I'm taking this h1 of n as it is, that two parallel blocks I'm shifting into one block, that is h2 of n plus h2 of n minus h3 of n convolution h4 of n. So I am writing the whole other blocks as it is, h5 of n. Now these two systems are in series. Series means we need to convolute. So how we can convolute means, again we are making it into one block which says h1 of n convolution with h2 of n minus H3 of n convolution H4 of n. So this is a whole block. Because these two blocks are in series, I am taking convolution here. Again, this is x of n you are giving as input. This is one more block H5 of n. So this is plus. We need to add this to get a y of n. So plus means just add a symbol. So the total h of n is h5 of n plus this whole thing. That is h1 of n convolution h2 of n minus h3 of n convolution h4 of n. This is your complete h of n. So with this h of n, we are giving input x of n, h of n, and we are getting output as y of n. This is your overall impulse response. Overall impulse response of the system. Got it? The next problem here is we are checking the LTI system characteristics. H of n is given. Just we need to check the properties whether it is stable and causal. How we can prove this it's a stable means this H of n should be impulse response that should be absolutely summable. Okay, as we all know the equation that is to check the stability of the system. Here the equation we have is summation k is equal to minus infinity to infinity, that is h of k should be less than infinity. This equation we need to check. I am substituting the value here, that is summation k is equal to minus infinity to infinity. Modulus of h of n is this one. H of k means 1 by 2 to the power of k into u of k, that should be less than infinity. Since u of k is there, it is not between minus infinity to infinity, but it is between 0 to infinity. So I am removing this u of k, that should be less than infinity. So if we simplify this modulus, this is alpha. K is equal to 0 to infinity, alpha to the power of k means this is 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. In alpha place we have 1 by 2. So 1 divided by 1 minus alpha I am writing. So this will be 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 will be 1 by 2. So 1 by 1 by 2 is again 2. So 2 is less than infinity. So we can say that the system is stable. Therefore, system is stable. How I wrote this equation is, as we know, the summation starts from 0 to infinity and it is alpha to the power of k, means this k value, this k is equal to 0 to infinity, alpha to the power of k means we can write it as 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. From this equation I wrote this and you will get a 2, that is less than infinity. So we can say that the system is stable. Now let us check it is a causal or not. To check whether the system is causal, here we only have an equation h of n should be equal to 0 for n less than 0. Here we have h of n as 1 by 2 to the power of n into u of n. U of n means this varies from 0 to infinity. For negative values, here this value is 0. So we can say that the system is causal. Okay. Here we checked both stability and the causality system. The next problem is same problem, we need to check the stable and causal. H of n is given. So to check the stability, what we can say this summation k varies from minus infinity to infinity. h of k should be less than infinity, right? I am substituting here. K is minus infinity to infinity. This is 0.99 to the power of n power of k, u of k plus 3. This whole thing should be less than infinity. So here we have k plus 3. So what we can write it as k plus 3 means this summation varies from k is equal to minus 3 to infinity. So 0.99 to the power of k. And I am eliminating this u of k plus 3 because we have taken the limits. So this should be less than infinity. So now let us take m as k plus 3. Okay. So what happens then? The summation k varies between 0 to infinity because k is minus 3 means minus 3 plus 3. M is 0. So m as 0 to infinity and 0.99 to the power of, in place of k I am writing m minus 3. This whole thing should be less than infinity. So summation m is equal to 0 to infinity. This 0.99 to the power of minus 3 I am taking outside. So 0.99 to the power of m is inside. This should be less than infinity. So again we are simplifying 0.99 to the power of minus 3. So this 0 to infinity alpha to the power of k. So we can write it as 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. This is the alpha value. If you simplify using a calculator, you can get it as 103.06, which is less than infinity. So we can say that therefore we can say that the system is stable. Again here this is k 0 to infinity, alpha to the power of k means 1 divided by 1 minus alpha I wrote. Okay, next to check the causality we have to see h of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0. This we need to check if the system is causal. So here u of k plus 3, h of n as u of n plus 3 is given. N plus 3 means it starts from minus infinity. So here we don't have values for negative, we have a values for negative values. So since h of n is not equal to 0 for n less than 0, we can say that the system is not causal. This we need to check, but we got this as answer. So the system is not causal. Why means if you take this h of minus 2, this is 0.99 to the power of minus 2, you will get a value of 1.02, which is not equal to 0. So we can say that the system is not causal. The next problem here is we need to check if the system is stable and causal. H of n is given 4 to the power of minus n, u of 2 minus n. So if we plot this h of n, this looks like for the values of 3, 4, 5 and 6, we have an amplitude of 0. But for 2, we have an amplitude of 0.0625. For 1, we have an amplitude of 0.25. For 0, we have an amplitude of 1. Similarly, for minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, we have an amplitudes of 4. This is 10. And for 3, you have amplitude of 64. Similarly, it is going to minus infinity. So we can say to check the system is stable, we need to check for k is equal to minus infinity to infinity. H of k should be less than infinity, right? But here here this I am taking limits from minus infinity to 2. So this, if we need to interchange the limits, this minus will eliminate. So 4 to the power of k. I am substituting t is equal to k plus 2. So the summation changes from 0 to infinity. In place of k, t minus 2 will come. So 4 power minus 2, if I take outside, this is 1 by 16. So summation will be 0 to infinity 4 to the power of t. Since we have a summation infinity, so this tends to infinity, but it doesn't take a value that is less than infinity. So we can say that the system is unstable. To check the causality, since h of n is not equal to 0, that means here we have negative values amplitude. So it is not equal to 0 for n less than 0. So we can say the system is non-causal. This is the method to check whether the system is stable and causal.